Welcome to the I Love Coaching podcast, where we believe coaching solves everything.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the I Love Coaching podcast. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? I am beyond excited right now to share with you my guest. It's not really a guest in my world. It's a guest to you guys, though if you've been around the I Love Coaching community long enough, you know that the Jess Webber is not only my right hand, my left foot, my right foot, my brains. She is all things creation inside of the I Love Coaching community. And Jess Webber, I am so excited to have you on our podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here too.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm very transparent on this podcast. As you know, Jess, I'm a very transparent person. So this podcast is about, the idea of this podcast is about what, Jess, 3 minutes old?
Yeah, maybe 5 if we're really being generous.
Jess, let's go back. So you and I have been in business now working this community for nearly a year and a half, right?
Yeah, just over actually.
Just over a year and a half. And Jess and I met through a connection inside of I Love Coaching, though our backgrounds are in the KW world. And that's where you came from, right?
It is where I came from. I left traditional teaching and education to join real estate because it felt like the land of opportunity. I could make more, I could do more, I could be more than just a classroom teacher.
Right. Though classroom teacher you were, and an amazing classroom teacher at that, right?
I like to think so, but everybody's a legend in their own minds, right?
Well, when you and I did your life story, I believe I ran out of ink when it came to the number of classifications that you have as a teacher.
That is true. That is true. I have a habit that when I get excited about something, I want to go learn everything, get every certification, become an expert in it as quickly as possible, because it allows me to better serve the people in my world, because I find joy in helping others grow and others succeed. So I truly believe in success through others. And it started with my teaching background, and then it transitioned through Keller Williams, and now I love coaching.
Yep, here we are. And this was really neat. So for those listeners, or if you're watching on YouTube, there is an assessment out there called the Rocket Fuel Assessment. And I Love Coaching still to this day runs the EOS model, which is a system for basically keeping us organized. And Jess took the assessment when we first met. And if you're familiar with it, there's 2 types of usually outcomes. You're either a visionary or an integrator. And it just so happened that after Jess's assessment results came back, it said that you were a 50-50. You weren't one high or the other. You were literally right in the middle of a visionary and an integrator. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen that assessment taken many times, results many, many times. I'd never seen that before. So I knew instantly I was to hire Jess. It's a visionary and an integrator all in one.
Yeah, it's a unique place to be in. If you've ever read the Rocket Fuel book or anything else by Gino Wickman, he constantly references that visionary and integrator partnership. And then he's like, and if you think you're both, you're not. So just take that out of your mind, because less than 1% of people really are. And so the whole time I was reading the book, I was like, but I feel like I'm the unicorn. And then it turns out after I read the book and took the assessment, and then I took the assessment again like a year later just to confirm, I always score identically in both camps, which does put me in a unique position in this, industry for sure.
Oh, Gino, we have a unicorn. Yeah, that 1%er. That's right. So let's transition to where we are now. So right now it is 2024, soon to be August, and we have built a global coaching community, right? We have built a coaching community that is now in, it's, I don't know how many different iterations of the blueprint that we have created, either 6 or 7. And what I want to talk about today, though, is what we have seen in the coaches that come into our community that are looking to have these grandiose ideas of being a coach. But the top 3 things that delay their success. Let's talk about the top 3 things that delay the coach's success. You want to?
I would love to. I love this conversation.
Yeah. So I'll name the first one, mindset. What would you say the second one would be?
I would say actions.
Yep, I agree with actions. And I know that we both can agree on this last one is systems.
Definitely. That's my
Yep.
love
So
language.
Yeah, it really is. So we have mindset, actions, and systems. And these are the top three things that delay coaches having success. Let's dive into mindset. So what are you seeing from both your visionary and integrator brain of what's causing these coaches in the mindset space to delay success?
I would say that the number one thing is a belief in their self that they can do this and they can achieve in this space. So more often than not, we have people who come to us from different industries and different backgrounds who have experienced success with a coach or seen successful coaches in the past. And they know they have a lot of experience and value to offer, but they don't know where to start. And they have, mindset issues around imposter syndrome or a fear of success or a fear of failure. And they can't get over themselves to move into the next thing that we listed, which is action. They get so lost in their own brains that it's truly a brick wall with a lot of them. They're like, I'm going to be a coach. And then nothing happens after that.
And it's very true. And we're not laughing at you coaches. We're not laughing at the fact that this is a challenge that you all have, because we've had that exact same challenge ourselves internally. Though the imposter syndrome one is one that we see so frequently. Right?
It is. Probably every coach we've had come into our world, which is now dozens, hundreds, I've lost count over the last year and a half. Every coach has experienced it at some point in time. And it's fascinating to watch the light bulb moment happen, to use a teacher phrase, of, oh my gosh, I am now actually able to identify that imposter syndrome, which is the first step in really overcoming it.
Yeah. Identifying it, number one. And number two is sharing it with somebody, right? That's the hardest part. Is mindset is one thing, gang. It is exposing your ego is another thing, right? Because if you don't share it with anybody, what are you going to do with it? You're just going to sit there and you're going to continue to lie to yourself. So let's talk about that ego, Justin, how that gets in the way of their mindset. What have we experienced there?
A lot. I mean,
a lot of ego.
The reason I say this, a lot of ego, and it's all from
true.
Adam, y'all. All of it. No.
It's very true. Very, very true.
But it goes back to that whole conversation about visionary and integrator. Let's be honest. Most people who are entrepreneurs and most people who want to be coaches typically are on that visionary side. They're big thinkers with big ideas, big dreams, big goals. And so that means there's a big ego there too. Mm-hmm. And whenever you step into a new industry, I mean, I'm guilty of it, even just transitioning from like teaching to real estate and then from real estate to coaching. Right. I was like, I know nothing. I feel like an idiot. I can't do this. Nobody's going to want to pay me to do this. Right. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to offer. I'm not valid because I hadn't already had success in that space, in that industry. So I have massive ego when it comes to being in a classroom because I've done it and I've done it well. I feel like I have a decent sized ego in real estate because I've done it and done it well. It took a while to develop that inside the coaching space. And that only came after overcoming that imposter syndrome. That's right.
Yep. And understanding ego is good, though ego as it relates to raising your hand and asking for help is another thing. True. Right? That's the part of the mindset that many people that we've experienced won't raise their hand fast enough to say, hey, I need some help here. And that help is my ego is really getting in the way. And I do have a massive fear of judgment. I do have a massive fear of rejection. I do have a massive fear of success. And will you help me? So let's talk about how we can help them, or what we've done to actually help some of these coaches.
Well, I think the number one thing is actually the fact that we have a community. So we've created this safe space for people who are stepping into an industry, or they've been in it, but they haven't seen the success that they want to achieve in it. And so we've created this entire community of like-minded individuals, even though they may be coaching in different verticals or in different industries. It's an amazing opportunity to bring yourself there and say, hey, I'm going to let go of that personal ego, because ego, like you said, can be good or bad. It's just how you tend to leverage it or use it.
That's right.
But they can step into that community and say, hey, I am struggling with this. How would you present this to others? Or how should I think about this? What do I need to reframe? What do I need to read or do? And that community has become one of the biggest assets that we have as a company for other coaches, because most often than not, most coaches start their endeavor as a solo endeavor. They've been solo entrepreneurs and they may have brought other people in along the way, but they started out by themselves.
On a lone island,
they're no different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
And so, yeah, having that community becomes an asset from the day that you start in our world.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So if you want to get over your mindset, or if you want to improve your mindset, basically what we're telling you is surround yourself with an environment that's conducive for helping you get past that, right? Really plugging into it and then letting your ego go. Let your ego go and simply raise your hand. I'm 100% guilty of not raising my hand fast enough, right? I will try to figure something out. I'll go through it when you probably can expedite that learning process just simply by raising your hand in a community and saying, hey, I need some help here, or just being vulnerable. That's good. Okay, let's transition. Let's go to the second thing that slows coaches down from having success, and that's action, or really lack of action, right?
Correct. Action. So once you get your mind right, then you got to get the body right. You get the physical activities moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what we've seen is, I don't know why we're seeing this. We see a pause, right? They have great success in their former lives, and then they come into the coaching space, and we give them the steps to take, and then they pause. What do you think causes that pause or that lack of action?
I think it goes back to what we just said. It's analysis paralysis created by ego. So they haven't had success in that coaching space. So I'll say it again. They have analysis paralysis because of their ego. Mm-hmm. They truly pause, and they don't have an ego as a coach. And so then they start overthinking everything. They get lost in their head, and then they don't take action. And the thing is we've outlined it, like you said, in our entire blueprint process and in the intensive that we teach around that blueprint. We give them a framework that says, do this next thing next.
That's right.
To take away a lot of that, mindset and mental issue around taking action. And we say, hey, here's the next right thing you need to spend time and energy on.
Right.
And yet, so many are like, I don't know. I'm afraid to do this. What if I fail? All the things. And it's like, Adam has probably heard me yell it. I don't even know how many times. I don't think you have enough fingers and toes for me to say, do the damn thing. That's right. My favorite phrase right now. I've adapted what Nike said, just do it a little bit, because I'm passionate about take action and do the thing.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing that we have experienced also is taking your brain out of the doing action part. We've actually helped them take their brain out of it. We just simply say, this is what you have to do, because this is where we've seen success. Mm-hmm. And gosh, there's such still that pause. And as long as they can get past their own mindset, they can take action. And that's when we see the coaches really have success, is when they start to take action.
100%. The ones that can remove their ego and just do the thing find success that much faster, exponentially faster. And the ones that sit back and take 30, 60, 90 days to even come to terms with the fact that they want to be a coach and they aren't even able to call themselves coach, take 10 times as long to see the same success as the ones that embrace that mindset and that action and just go.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the blueprint, let's share with them a little bit about Embark. Yeah, I know that's mindset, but we put action items inside of mindset. So we have a 14-day challenge inside of there. And the challenge starts with day one, right? Mm-hmm. Day one, Jess, what do we tell them to do on day one as it relates to action?
Go tell people that you're a coach.
Ding, 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 ding. Hello, that's what you're supposed to do.
Not that difficult. It's 5-letter word. It's not even a dirty word. Like,
that's right.
Just go tell people you're a coach.
So if you're listening, this is what we want you to do. Now, you may say, Adam and Jess, this is the silliest action item you could have given us. trust us. This is such a missed step that we're going to help you in your ego space. So number one, go tell someone that you are coaching. Number two, we actually tell you to go tell your family and your peers, right? Because the peer space is where we have found, actually sometimes it's a little bit of both family and peers, for whatever reason, there's this analysis by paralysis of maybe someone thinking that you're not cool enough, right? Oh my gosh, you're a coach. Everyone's a coach right now. Wrong. They're not a coach right now. And then what's the last one we tell them to go do?
Change their bio and tell the world that they are. So you start internally and move externally.
And you too can have this for $20,000, right? We'll give you all of this for $20,000. No, I'm just kidding.
It's half that, Adam. 10.
It is half that. I was just trying to upsell them on our podcast. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. So here's the thing, though. We're having fun and we're being silly, though this is serious. When you stop, and in the very part of embark, we say, go tell your family. That's the very first thing you have to do is go tell your family. That's an action item that you're stepping into the coaching space. Number two, go tell your peers you're stepping into the coaching space. And number three, go tell the world, change your social media or add to your social media that you are now coaching. That's the simple advice we're going to give you right here in the how to get over the lack of action is to go take action in those three simple spaces.
Can I add one thing to that?
Yes.
So I know that with the mindset side of taking action on adding coach to your bio, we have a lot of people come to us and go, I'm afraid to do this because I'm afraid it will impact the other business that I'm running, the other thing that I'm doing that I'm using my social media for. So if they're in real estate, if they're in a corporate setting, if they've got another business or sale opportunity, there's a lot of fear around adding coach to their bio in that 14 days because they're afraid it will actually reduce the number of clients. And what we find is the people who embrace it actually see an uptick in their other business because of the fact that now not only do they have authority in that business or in that space, but now they have so much authority that somebody else is paying for their expertise, paying for their experience, paying to hear what lessons they've learned. And so it actually improves business and helps you launch yourself as a coach in that vertical that much faster.
Yep. And two things I want everyone to hear there is building your authority and perception's reality, right? When there is a perceived value that you are also helping other people in the space that you are mastering yourself, that's big. That's really, really big. All right, let's go into your love language. You ready? So the third thing that we know that causes delayed success in coaches is what, Jess? Systems or lack of systems, right?
Or lack there, yes.
Write this down, everybody. If you're driving, just be careful. Write this down. The acronym for system is save yourself time, energy, and money. Save yourself time, energy, and money is the acronym for systems. So, Jess, what causes them to have delayed success in lack of systems?
Well, it goes back again to that conversation. We've got a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of visionaries. To them, systems is a dirty word because it seems too micro. It seems too basic, too detail oriented, and they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And the thing is anything that you're going to do more than once. So literally, if you're going to do it 2 times or more, you can create a system around it to be more efficient, to be more effective, to buy you back more time and energy. So even for the people like Adam, who are not as big a fan of systems as some of our other friends.
Listen, hold on. I got to stop. I love systems. Developing systems, as you labeled, right, a visionary and someone that likes to go fast, we just don't slow down long enough to build systems because we think we can shoulder everything, right? We think we can shoulder everything, and we know that that's not true.
Right. Well, you have a habit of, I'm going to put on my superhero cape, I'm going to pull up my boots, and I'm just going to get this stuff done. That's right. And the thing is I want to help you do that much faster or not even need the cape and boots and still achieve the same goals or scale them exponentially. And so it goes back to keep the system simple, but build it at the same time. So if you're going to send an email to somebody and you're going to need to say the same thing to somebody else, turn it into a template. If you're going to lead generate through DMs and you're going to send the same type of questions or the same content, save it in a note in your phone or on your computer so that way you can copy and paste and not have to retype it every time. I'm
That's
not
right.
sitting there and saying, build this massive thing. You have to buy software. You have to hire an integrator today or anything like that. But if you're going to do something more than once, try to create a simple system around it to save you that time, energy, and money so you can go make more of it or have more of it.
And I think the key word there, if you are a visionary or if you're someone that likes to go fast, is simple. Keep it simple. We find on the flip side, which causes the delay in coaches having success, is they overcomplicate it, Jess. They overcomplicate their systems. Yep.
Well, what happens is a lot of times when people enter this coaching space, they have a big vision for themselves because they are that visionary. So they have an idea of getting an entire coaching empire built.
Yes.
Oh, I want to do one-on-one coaching. I want to do group coaching. I want to have a membership. I want to have courses that I want to sell. I want to have this pretty website. I want to have a podcast. I want to have an app. I want to have merchandise. I mean, they can go as big a thinker as you can possibly imagine, and then some probably go bigger.
Yep.
But the thing is most of them will stop taking action because they're paralyzed by the action of building a simple system, and they think they need something complex. They think they need to have the website built, the podcast launched, the merch picked out, the logo, the designs, all the things before they take on their first one-to-one client. And what we constantly are teaching them is it's not a field of dreams situation. You don't have to build it so they will come. What you have to do is take action, and then it will build itself over time. And you will get clarity around what you need to build over time as you start working with clients.
That's right. Love that phrase. Field of dreams. Build it and they will come. Nope, doesn't work. You know what's interesting about that too, Jess, is when you think about the coaches who build it or at least attempt to build it and then attempt to go out and sell it, those are the ones that fall flat on their face.
Yeah, they don't find massive success. Or my favorite, and honestly, Adam knows I'm completely guilty of this as well, is if you try to build it first and then you enter the marketplace and you start testing everything and you find out it's not actually in alignment with who you really are or who you want to help, you've wasted all that time, energy, or money building the thing before testing it. So by starting out with just simple things and conversations, you can really shortcut how long it will take you to build something by identifying what you need to build before trying to build it.
Well, and that's kind of why in our blueprint, when we go through the engage, so we have 5 E's in the blueprint. We have embark, mindset. We have engage, and engage is not engaging clients. It's actually engaging you so you can understand what your value proposition, which is the end result, truly is. And then we go into enroll, which is taking that value proposition out to the marketplace and seeing what lands based on the avatar that you have defined. Right. And that's in the blueprint. I think engage and enroll are 2 of my favorites to teach because of this system building process that we have taken in the approach here to help the coaches build out this simple system of awareness.
100%. And then it's really fun because the ones who find success and engage and enroll are the ones who find value in the evolve and extend pieces that we have at that end of that blueprint when they get to move beyond and head towards that empire building opportunity that they're looking for.
Right, exactly. So let's help the coaches here real quick in a system. Now, this is super simple. Right. So this isn't necessarily a system, but we're going to help you in the engage part here of defining what maybe could be your product. Number 1, we take you through what we call build your achievement list. Right. In this achievement list, this is going to be everything that you can think about where you've had success. And where you've had success, I don't care how far back you go, you can go back to walking, right? If you remember learning to walk, write it down. Outside of that, though, I want you to write down everything that you've had success in from a starting to either a completion or an exit. And then from there, then we teach you how to build out your stadium pitch, followed by your macro problem solution cycle, followed by your micro problem solution cycle, which one of those is building your attractive character. That's the macro. The second one is building out your authority, followed by building out your trust, which is your value proposition. So when you follow those 4 different steps, actually that's 5 different steps, that's a system that you can go back and update and change as the marketplace comes back and says, I don't like that product, right?
100%. And by having that framework, it's very easy to take the emotion out of it, which is another thing that really typically impacts coaches' success, is when they get emotional about something, they will not take action or not use the system. Systems help you remove the emotion and really identify, yes, this is working, or no, it's not. This is what I need to continue doing. This is what I need to stop doing and do something different. And so I also love systems for that. When you have it simple, you can identify simply and move forward from it. The more complex it is, the more difficult it is to tweak and then adjust and use.
Yeah, for sure. So good. So good. Okay. So we've covered 3 things. We've covered mindset, how to overcome and reduce the ego there in that space. And that's join a community. Number 2 is action, taking action or lack of action, and how to take action. We've shared with you simple processes to do that. And number 3 is systems, or lack of systems, or not having systems. And we've shared with you how to start to simply build simple systems to keep your world continuing to expand. Good stuff. Great stuff.
I love it.
Jess, what do we want to leave them with today?
Oh, I think the first thing is just get your mind right and then do the thing, y'all. Do it simply. Don't overthink it, and just know that if you're looking for an opportunity, there's an entire community of people probably similar to you.
Yeah.
And we would love to have you join that community.
Well, so the I Love Coaching community is just that. It is a community of coaches, literally global now, that has this same thought process, is how-tos, right? How-tos, and then we help you in the implementation space. And that's how to grow your business to 6 figures, 7 figures, and ultimately exit. So that's fun. Cool, Jess. Well, hey, thanks for being a guest on the I Love Coaching podcast. This has been fun. Maybe you should come back more often.
You know what? I would love to. This was fun.
I think you might know someone that has control of my calendar too. So maybe you should chat with them.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I'll go look in the mirror later.
Okay, got it. Go do that. Yes. Okay, everybody. Thank you. This has been fun. That is the Jess Webber that we've had here on the I Love Coaching podcast. So I want to leave you with a few things. We have some big upcoming events. We have the I Love Coaching Whole Life Business Planning event. We call it Elevate 2025. And what that is, it's literally as it sounds. We have, how many, Jess? 11 speakers? Is it 11?
You keep adding people. I think we're up to 12.
So it's October 24th and 25th. And I want you to register right now. So if you go to ilovecoachingco.com, you'll see on there it says 2024 Summit. Go check it out right now. Register. Bring your spouse. Bring your teenagers. Bring your team members. Again, John Maxwell is going to be our keynote speaker for the 2nd year in a row. Super excited about that. There is an elite VIP ticket, which means you and only 20 other people get to come to my house, Dana and I's house, and have sushi served by the chef. And you get to hang out with all the speakers, excluding John because he won't be there. And then the next day you do get to have lunch with John. So that's going to be really, really fun. So go register for that. And then if you like this podcast, leave us a great review. And if you didn't like this podcast, we'll blame it on Jess and we'll go from there. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. See you. Bye.